Alright, welcome back to D.L. Kramer's Custom Cars. This is part 2 of put the fuel tank filler neck in, you know. So I got the filler neck in on the first part, and on the second part here, I put the breather hose in, and floor silicone that, trying to think of the name, seam sealed it. But I went through the access hole body plug here, and then I put a 90 on it and stuff, and it's 3/8 fuel line, and then I ran it so that way the air can breathe out of there, to the back of the car and just dissipate. So basically, it would come out of the tank there, and then steel rubber to steel fuel line. Then it comes up, steel fuel line is bent. Then you put a small little fuel filter on there to keep any particles out of the tank. But then the air will go this way, and then steel fuel line, and then 90, and then through that body plug. And then I just put shit on it, seam sealer. So, and then I fastened it to the floor and everything, so. Looks like crap, but that'll work. I'll throw, there'll be carpeting in here and stuff like that. It's all been sandblasted and cleaned and bed lined and painted and whatever else. So I was thinking about putting this old 69 Barracuda flip top deal on it, but it don't fit. So I'll probably sell that. But yeah, so yeah, so okay, for example, now when you're filling it up, you got your nozzle in there and you start filling it up. The fuel runs down the tube, runs down the tube and goes into the fuel cell. Now, when the gas level is going up in the fuel cell, then when the gas level is going up inside the fuel cell here, well, air has to escape. So now air will be pushed through there, come down that steel fuel line, and then I put a big bend in it up here by the fuel neck, okay? So when you overfill it that way, then it runs through this tube, But anyway, the air will come up through here and then go through that filter and then down, and then there's a hose that's dropped inside the frame rail in the back here. So that way you can breathe. And the reason why you go up a little bit and then down, you want to go as high as you can according to your thing, because when the nozzle's in here, if you overfill this thing, the level is going to come up in here, and it's going to go up to here, and then click it off, hopefully. But now, if you don't have this bend in here, what it would do is you'd fill this tube up, and then what would happen is if I just went from here to here, then it would start running out of the frame. Then you'd watch it run on the ground. So you got to have it up as high as where it clicks off the deal, because the nozzle will stick in that far where I got the bend up here, and it goes back down. So that way, you don't want to vent it in the car, See, normally I would drill a hole right here in this neck, and then ran this hose right to the steel fuel line. That's how they did it all the time, But I didn't want to drill a hole in there, and then I'd have to weld that all that stuff. Oh, and by the way, when I made this tube, I'll show you. I used gas tank sealer inside of this after this was all welded and cleaned, So this one rust on the inside. So I'll show you that in a minute. So anyway, that's how that whole system works. And then I ran steel fuel line here. And then later on I'll lay carpet in here. And I'll make a cover for this. I'm going to make a little cover for this. Because now I can change my fuel filter right in the tank. Or right there. And I can get to everything. Fuel level sender. I don't have to lay under the car or drop the tank, So anyway, let me show you the stuff I used going up here. But now you can kind of see my fuel there, you know, and see in there. So anyway, that's totally normal now. So I got a fuel cell in it, but you can feel it totally normal, like a normal Duster, you know. Looks like a mess in there. It looks like shit actually, but it looks more like shit on camera. But anyway, when I welded that tube together, I used 1 3/4 exhaust tubing. This stuff right here. Well, then obviously when you weld it, it's going to rust, you know. So after I welded it all together, and then I used this fuel tank sealer for $15. It's $21 just for this 8-ounce. Got 3/4 of a can here yet. Now I kind of wish I could have dropped the fuel cell and lined it with this, because then to these gas, it'd be a lot easier on that aluminum. So now $22 for this little can, this 8-ounce can, you know. $22, $21.99. I can't believe it. And then I just can't believe what they're getting for this. So anyway, then I covered both ends and I poured the whole can in there, you know. I poured the whole can in it and everything, and then I sloshed it around for a half hour. Sat in a chair there and had both ends covered with hose ends and hose clamps, and then I just sloshed it around until I know I had everything sealed inside that tube. And I poured the rest back out in that can, and then I hung it overnight to dry. So that tube, if you're asking, well, that's going to rust. No, it won't now. It's all sealed. So anyway, so we got, so now it's completely normal. You can pull up to a fuel thing and fill her up. And if it does start running out of back in the car, you know she's full. But it should click off. Should click off to where I got this. Got this way up here. And that nozzle will be sitting inside here. So it should click off. You might get a drop in the hose, you know. And that's okay. That's okay. But yeah, with all my sealer and stuff in here, seam sealer, it looks like shit, you know. I mean, it doesn't look like shit. It's just, you know, needs carpeting now over the top of all this, you know. So, and I don't know if it was a good idea putting that fuel filter in the tank or not, or on top here or not. Probably wasn't, but I just thought, you know, if I ever had to change the fuel filter, that way I don't have to lay on the ground. Should just put the fuel, everything in here. Fuel pump and everything I should have maybe put in there. But yeah, it has an extra port, so if I want to put fuel injection back on this to run the secondary hose back or return, then I can do that too. So, but yeah, so that finishes that project for now. Now I just got to wire up the fuel pump. There's the wire. It's grounded to the chassis, and then there's the positive wire, and then there's the fuel level sender. So I just got to wire it in, and this should be all completely done. I'm going to make some sort of cover or something for this area. Something, you know, this has to be small. It doesn't have to be very, very big. Just something to cover that up, and then that way, because I need to throw my spare tire in the back, and a case of beer, and lawn chairs, and radio, and you know what I'm saying. So, yeah. So anyway, there it is. So, that's just a cord there. So I gotta run my airlines yet too. There's nothing I can do back here yet. Yeah, other than that, I guess that's it for now on this one. But I want to say Happy New Year to all. If you guys can at least give me a like. If you can't subscribe, if you could throw me a like on this or something, I don't know. I'd appreciate it. I really would, and I thank you for that. So, yeah, I guess that's all I know for now. I bought myself a lawnmower ignition switch I'm going to put in here, so I don't want to at least at a GM key or something. I have to go online and buy that, so. But I just bought an ignition switch from town. So I'm going to put that in the dash. Maybe I'll do that yet tonight. This thing's got to be done by June. So I got to do everything I possibly can, you know. Anything that takes time again off the old list. You know. I still got to see all that up yet, you know, and stuff and all that, you know. So basically that whole back that folds down this way, you know. Pull that lever down, you pull that lever down. I put the bottom here on hinges, you fold them in. And then you can fold this down this way. So that's why I want to put that cover on here. I'm going to build a cover. Either build one or buy something that's a box or something I can cut up and utilize. So I can cover this stuff up. So if I put stuff in here, I don't smash that fuel filter open or ground out my fuel gauge or something. Whatever. It's race, you know. It looks like it's racy, you know. And then also another thing, I think I'm gonna have to put a rollover valve on. I'll cut this tube this summer. I'll do it. Take the tube out and cut it, and then take a section out and put that anti-rollover valve in it. And I'll do the same thing with this vent tube too. So it can vent out, but wait, no, that won't work on it. Huh. Okay, we'll have to figure that out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's don't overwhelm ourselves. But anyway, again, Happy New Year. Please give me a like and a subscribe. Nothing else, or like or subscribe or something. Could you help me? I want to build this channel. I want to make it great. That's what I want to do. But I need the subscribers to do it. And if I don't have the subscribers, I can't do it. Encourage your buddies, you know, share it, you know. I mean, I'm just a common builder, man. I take parts, I make it work, you know. I don't have the money to, let's build a 6.4 today and we're going to put a 671 on it. And maybe down the road in the future we could have, but if I can't grow the channel, that'll never happen. I have the knowledge, I just don't have the subscribers to do it. So, with the subscribers, I can build the channel. But yeah, we're gonna make our own cluster, put our own gauges. I'm thinking about putting the ignition switch to the right side of that cluster right here. I'm thinking. I was going to put it in tonight, that ignition switch, but God, do I put it there? I'd like to put it under the dash. Dang it, I hate to drill a hole in that dash. But I really don't know how else to do it. I want no separate plate. I don't want it upside down. How do you do that? Yeah, I think we're going to put it there. I think it's going to go there. That way it's still on the right-handed. You got to kind of think when you get in the car, What do you do when you get in your vehicle? If you have keys, you put the keys in your right hand and then you put them in the ignition, not your left hand. Some vehicles are started on the left side. Majority of them were standing on the right side. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna drill a hole and mount it in there and just look the other way as I'm doing it. This is all carpet pieces. I was gonna carpet this back, see if I got enough pieces, just burn them up, That's my dash core, So I gotta put a dash in this thing. And the dash pad, Sometimes they want a core. So that's what that is. Actually, let's put this back in the trunk for now. So I hope you and your honeys are out having a good time tonight and celebrating New Year's. Used to play music on New Year's. Used to be fun. To me, it's just another evening. So, but I wish the best to everybody. Go out and have fun. And we'll talk to you later, okay? You guys take care. Love to all my Facebook buddies. Okay? Just be careful. Make sure you make it home tonight. Bye-bye.